Welcome to Tech Bytes and News, your daily roundup of articles featured in Hacker News. Today we're diving into Bobby Lockhart's insightful piece, Tech Takes the Pareto Principle Too Far. It's a fascinating critique of the MVP approach in tech and how it's impacting product quality. The core argument? The tech industry's obsession with the Pareto principle, that 20% of the effort yields 80% of the results, is leading to unfinished, subpar products.
Right, and it's a compelling point. He uses the analogy of video game development's vertical slice, a fully polished, representative piece of the final product, versus the tech industry's minimum viable product, MVP, which is often just barely functional. That's a stark contrast, isn't it?
Absolutely. The vertical slice demonstrates not just functionality, but the team's capability to deliver a polished final product. The MVP, on the other hand, only proves someone might pay for a basic version. It doesn't guarantee the team can handle the remaining 80% of the work, which Lockhart argues is often the case. Many projects stall or are released prematurely, leaving users with frustratingly incomplete experiences.
He mentions the Pareto principle's inherent flaw. It ignores the necessity of that final 20%. You know, an 80% complete website or car is hardly usable. It's not just about features, it's about the polish, the details, the overall user experience.
Exactly. And this obsession with MVPs has created a culture where engineers are incentivized to excel at prototyping, but lack experience in the painstaking process of refinement. It's a systemic problem.
I see his point about early adopters accepting unfinished products. It's a double-edged sword, right? Early adoption is crucial for feedback and iteration, but it also normalizes incompleteness. This creates a vicious cycle where companies are less motivated to finish their products because early adopters are already paying.
You're spot on. And he extends this critique to the gaming industry, highlighting the prevalence of day-one patches and DLC that should have been part of the base game. It's a symptom of this same problem. It's almost like we've accepted mediocrity as the new standard.
But then he introduces another layer of complexity, the inherent limitations of current AI technologies. He argues that some AI applications, like self-driving cars, are fundamentally incomplete and may be impossible to fully realize with current methodologies. It's not just a matter of insufficient effort, it's a technological hurdle.
That's a really interesting point. He draws a parallel to the early days of AI research in the 70s, where researchers overestimated their progress towards AGI. He suggests we might be facing a similar situation with generative AI. We're focusing on the initial breakthroughs, but the path to true usability might be far longer and more challenging than we anticipate.
So he's not entirely dismissing the Pareto principle, but he's arguing that its application in tech has gone too far. It's a valuable tool for prioritization, but not a justification for releasing unfinished products. It's a call for a more craftsman-like approach, focusing on quality and completeness over just achieving minimal functionality.
Precisely. He advocates for a shift towards a more holistic approach, prioritizing the final product's quality and user experience. A chair isn't 80% complete just because you can sit on it. It's the details that matter. It's a powerful message for both developers and investors.
A really thought-provoking article. Thanks for breaking it down for us.
My pleasure. And that's all the time we have for today's Tech Bytes and News. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.